Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to study the chapter Effects of Electric Current. Can you recall how do we decide that a given material is a good conductor of electricity or is an insulator? Well, the answer for this question is the materials who have free electrons inside them are called good conductors of electricity, and the materials who do not have free electrons are insulators, as free electrons are the main reason for the flow of electricity. For better understanding, you can see our video, Revision of Electric Current. The next question is, iron is a conductor of electricity, but when we pick up a piece of iron resting on the ground, why don't we get electric shock? This is because iron is just a conductor of electricity. That is, it allows the flow of electricity and does not produce it. For us to get shock, there should be current flowing inside the iron piece. Unless and until there is no current, we won't get electric shock. What is static electricity? It is a stationary electric charge typically produced by friction, which causes sparks or crackling or the attraction of dust or hair. Static electricity is an imbalance of electric charges within or on the surface of a material. The charge remains until it gets a path to discharge. Lightning occurs due to static electricity. Because of winds, the small bits of ice rub each other as they move. All these collisions or clashings build up electric charge, and thus we see electric current in the form of lightning. Now let us study about the energy transfer in an electric circuit. The materials needed for a circuit are connecting wires, electric cells, and electrical resistance, that is a resistor. The voltmeter is connected across the resistor R to check the potential difference, that is the voltage across it. Ammeter is connected between the conducting wires to check the current flowing through it. The potential difference across resistor R is VAB, and the current flowing through it is I. The potential at A is higher than the potential at B, as the point A is connected to the positive electrode of the cell and the point B to the negative electrode of the cell. As soon as the battery is connected, a charge Q flows from A to B and work W is done across it. As we know, voltage VAB is equals to work done W upon total charge Q. Therefore, we get work done W is equals to VAB into Q. The source of energy is the cell. The cell gives its energy to resistor R in the form of charge, and some work VAB into Q is performed. We can say that work done W is equivalent to an energy across the resistor. Therefore, energy equals to work done equals to VAB into Q. Let us consider the time taken by the charge to flow through the resistor R is T. That means the work W is for the time duration T. In short, the cell gives its energy to the resistor, and the energy across the resistor is nothing but the work done W for time T. So what happens to this energy received by the resistor from the cell? This energy received by the resistor is converted into heat energy, and thus the temperature of the resistor increases. Electrical power. It is the ratio of energy received for particular time period. It is nothing but the power consumption. So capital P is equals to energy upon time required is equals to VAB into Q upon T, as energy is equals to VAB into Q and time required is T. We know that current is equals to charge upon time, that is I is equals to Q upon T. So we will substitute this value in the above equation of P. We get P is equals to V into I. That is, power is equals to voltage into current. Let's see the unit of electric power. As we know, power equals to voltage into current. So in terms of units, unit of V is volt and unit of I is amperes, that is voltage into ampere. We know that voltage is equals to work upon charge, so 1 volt equals to 1 joule upon 1 coulomb, and current is equals to charge upon time, so 1 ampere equals to 1 coulomb upon 1 second. So the unit of power becomes 1 volt into 1 ampere equals to 1 joule upon 1 coulomb into 1 coulomb upon 1 second. What we get is 1 joule upon 1 second, which is said to be watts. So the unit of power is watts. We need to remember that the unit of electric power, 1 watt, is very small unit. Hence, 1000 watts or 1 kilowatt is used as the unit. So our next term is heat. Heat is basically the product of electric power and time. So heat is equals to power into time. We saw that power equals to voltage into current. So substitute V into I in place of P. We get H equals to V into I into T. Now according to Ohm's law, that is V equals to IR, if we substitute V equals to IR, we get H is equals to V into V upon R into T. That is H is equals to V square into T upon R. This is the equation of heat in terms of voltage. Similarly, if we substitute in terms of I, we get H is equals to I into R into I into T. That is H is equals to I square into R into T. This is the equation of heat in terms of current. It is also called as Joule's law of heating. Let's understand heating effect of electric current. When a resistor is connected in an electric circuit, heat is produced in it due to the current. This is known as the heating effect of current. Equipment such as water boilers, electric cooker, electric bulb make use of heating effect of electric current. The conductors having higher resistivity are used here. That means here no resistor is connected, but the conductor used is nothing but an electric conductor with higher resistivity. For example, a coil made up of an alloy mixture of two or more substances, nichrome, is used in the electric heater cooker as a resistor, while a tungsten wire is used in an electric bulb. Because of the current and high resistance, this wire gets heated up to 3400 degrees Celsius and emits light. The hot wire also radiates heat to a certain extent. Several times we hear or read about a building catching fire due to short circuit. Sometimes, if we switch on an equipment in our house, the electric fuse wire melts and the electric supply shuts down. Let us discuss more about the cause briefly. The home electrical connection consists of live, neutral, and earth wires. The live and the neutral wires have potential difference of 220 volts. The earth is connected to the ground. Due to the fault in the equipment, or if the plastic coating of the live and the neutral wire goes away, the two wires come in contact with each other and a large current flows through it, producing heat. If any inflammable material, the materials that can easily catch fire, such as cloth, plastic, paper, etc., are around that place, it can catch fire. Therefore, a fuse wire is used as a precautionary measure. Let's understand what fuse actually is. Fuse. A fuse is an electrical safety device that operates to provide overcurrent protection of an electric circuit. Its essential components is a metal wire or strip that melts when too much current flows through it, thereby stopping or interrupting the current. When short circuit happens, a huge amount of current flows, and there is a chance that the equipments like a fridge, TV, etc. may get damaged. So to avoid this, a fuse is connected between the mains and our equipments. A fuse basically acts as a circuit breaker. Many times, particularly in the summer season, huge electrical power is used due to home lighting, fans, air conditioners, use of electricity in shops, etc. As a result, excessive current is drawn from the transformer supplying the electricity, and if the capacity of the transformer is insufficient, its fuse wire melts and the supply gets shut down. Such events occur due to overloading. Means if the transformer can only supply current to 4 equipments at one time, but someone connects 6 equipments, overloading occurs. These days, miniature circuit breakers (MCB) switches are used in homes. When the current in the circuit suddenly increases, this switch opens and current stops. Different types of MCBs are in use. For the entire house, however, the usual fuse wire is used. After heating effect of electric current, our next topic is magnetic effect of electric current. Let us first revise what is magnet and what are magnetic lines of force. Magnet. A magnet is a material that produces a magnetic field. This magnetic field is invisible, but is responsible for the most notable property of a magnet, that is, a force that pulls other magnets such as iron. Magnetic lines of force. It is nothing but the curved lines used to represent a magnetic field, drawn such that the number of lines relate to the magnetic field's strength. Now let's consider an electric circuit. A cell and a thick copper wire AB is connected by using conducting wires and a switch between them. Keep a magnetic needle adjacent to the wire AB. Before switching on the circuit, first we will observe the needle. It is stable. After switching on the circuit, the current starts flowing through the thick copper wire from point A to point B, and the direction of the current in the circuit is anti-clockwise. Hence, the needle starts shifting in anti-clockwise direction. Let's try it by changing the polarity of the battery. Now the current starts flowing in the clockwise direction, and thus the needle starts shifting in clockwise direction. The magnetic effect is observed because the current in the wire. This means electricity and magnetism is closely related. Now let us study how to determine the direction of magnetic field with respect to the direction of flow of current. Consider another electric circuit. There is a variable resistor whose resistance value can be changed manually, an ammeter to check the current, a cell, and a cardboard over which a magnetic needle is placed. When a large current, approximately 1 ampere or more, flows through the thick copper wire passing through a cardboard, the magnetic needle kept at different points on the cardboard around the wire stands in different directions. If we mark these positions of the needle, it forms circular lines across the copper wire. To understand this more, instead of magnetic needle, we will spread iron fillings on the cardboard. Iron fillings are basically small iron particles, more in powdered form. When electrical current flows, the iron fillings arrange themselves in a circular manner around the wire. As we know about magnetism and magnetic field, these iron fillings spread along the magnetic lines of force. Note: a magnetic field is produced around a straight current-carrying conductor. If the current is unchanged, this magnetic field reduces as the distance from the wire increases. Therefore, the concentric circles representing the magnetic lines of force are shown bigger and rarefied as the distance of the wire increases. We can see the lines near the wire are closer to each other, and as we move away from the wire, the magnetic lines go farther from each other. If the current through the wire is increased, the intensity of the magnetic field increases, that is, the magnetic strength increases. Right hand thumb rule. This is a convenient rule for finding out the direction of the magnetic field produced by a current flowing through an electrical conductor. Imagine that you are holding a conducting wire in your right hand in such a way that your thumb points in the direction of the current. Then turn your fingers around the conductor. Then direction of the fingers is the direction of the magnetic lines of force. The right hand thumb rule is also called as Maxwell's corkscrew rule. Here we complete the first part of our chapter, Effects of Electric Current. Thank you for watching. Please do like it, comment, share and subscribe our channel. You can follow us on Instagram at amor.tutorials.